beams and plate girder. And in this, we have beams. That means my load is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of the member, and that members we are going to say as beams. So now first the value of M is, so we have that is less than or equal to MD. So we have that P less than PD, T less than TD in this less than or equal to, and in the same way we have this is less than or equal to MD. Then the beam is said to be laterally supported beam if then we have that compression flange is fully restrained. The compression flange is laterally restrained so that it is capable to resist a lateral force, and we have that answer as 2.5%. In beams, if V less than 0.6 VD, then beam is designed for. So in this case, my beam is bending moment dominating, and we have to design it for bending moment. The value of beta B is 1, that is for both. You have plastic and compact section. If beams, if V greater than 0.6 VD, then beam is designed for. So when V greater than 0.6 VD, then we have shear also dominating, and in that case, we have to design for both, that is beam column. Now the value of beta B for semi-compact section is, so for semi-compact section, beta B we have that is ZE upon ZP. Now the value of epsilon for FY300 is, so we have answered 0.91. If we will go to connection and tension member, there we have same problem, but there we have made mistake. We have taken Fy upon 250, and that is wrong actually. And formula we have epsilon is equal to root of 250 upon Fy, and that answer comes 0.91. That problem number in that is 22. The design bending strength for V less than 0.6 VD is given by, so we have that when V less than 0.6 VD, we have beta B ZP Fy upon gamma M. The permissible deflection in building, that is given by span by 300. So this is in your table number 6. And design bending strength for compact section when V greater than 0.6 VD. So this is in section 9 where we have combined action, and that is MD minus beta, MD minus MFD. Now, the design bending strength for semi-compact section. In semi-compact section, we have beta B that is equal to ZE upon ZP, and that ZP gets cancelled, and we are going to get ZE Fy upon gamma M. The design bending strength for laterally unsupported beam. So we have that is beta B ZP into FBD, that is DNs. To avoid irreversible deformation under serviceability loads for simply supported beams, MD shall be less than. So we have 1.2 ZE Fy upon gamma M. Maximum value of FBD is 1. To avoid irreversible deformation under serviceability loads for cantilever beams, and we have that is 1.5 ZE Fy upon gamma M. Before this, we have simply supported beams. So we have same question, maximum value of FBD, that is already we have mentioned 1. The value of imperfection factor for welded section, this imperfection for welded connection is 0.49. If the value of extreme fiber bending stress FCRB increases, then design bending compressive stress that also increases. If we will go to table number, I think 13, we have there we have these values for alpha LT 0.21 and alpha LT 0.49. The value of imperfection factor for rolled section. Before this, we have welded section, which is 0.49. Here we have 0.21. Shear area in case of rolled section is given by. So in case of rolled section, we have overall depth into thickness of web. So we have A option. But if we will go this to the, not here we have rolled section, here we have that as welded section. So if we will go for welded section, then we have there is change. And that value we have depth of web into thickness of web. The angle of dispersion of load through the web for net area, that is in load bearing stiffener. So we have this angle is 45 degrees. but the angle of dispersion through the flange to the wave for net area is bearing stiffness we are going to mention over here, and angle we have with horizontal, that is 22 degrees. That 1 in 2.5, 1 vertical, 2.5 horizontal. A plate girder is used when we have loads large, span large, loads heavy. So we have generally, these are prepared when we have bending moment is large. Which of the following is economical? If depth is limited and loads are too large, then we will prefer that is welded box plate girder. So box plate girder is preferred in that case. Minimum thickness of web plate in plate girder. So when the plate is accessible and also exposed to weather, then we have 6 millimeters. Then rivets connecting flange angles to cover plates in a plate girder are subjected to via horizontal and shear only. The forces acting on the web splice of a plate girder. So we have that as shear and bending forces. In economical depth of a plate girder correspond to, so we have that is minimum weight. We are going to take derivative with respect to weight, and then we are going to get that depth of plate girder. And bearing stiffener of a plate girder is used. We are going to use it to prevent buckling of web. The modes of failure of plate girder. So we have yielding of tension flange and buckling of compression flange. The optimum depth of web for plate girder is generally given by. So this formula is used mzk upon fy to the power 0.3. So that is by taking derivative with respect to weight. The minimum area of flange angles with cover plate for riveted bolted plate girder, and that value we have should be 1/3 of calculated flange area. When we have D by TW, that is between 200 to 250, then stiffener requirement we have. So when that is between 200 to 250, we have vertical stiffeners with one horizontal stiffener at 0.2 D from compression flange. When this value of dy tw between 67 to 200, then we require only vertical stiffness. And when that is between 250 to 400, then we require vertical stiffness, one horizontal stiffener as 0.2d from compression flange, and another we have at neutral axis. So we have answer C. If this value greater than 400, then we have to change the section. Then function of torsional carrying stiffeners. So we have this as restrained against torsional effects. So torsional stiffeners or torsional effects we have. Function of diagonal stiffeners we have, and that is for local strengthening of web. Function of longitudinal stiffeners we have, that will increases buckling resistance of web. So these stiffeners we are generally for web only. The outstand of stiffener from face of web is restricted to 20 TQ upon epsilon. Generally, this value is taken as 14 TQ upon epsilon. We are not allowing more than that. The effective length of web on each side of centerline stiffener for interior stiffener is limited to, that is 40 TW. In case of end stiffeners, that is bearing stiffeners, we can say we have this value comes 20 TW because dispersion is only on one side. The effective length of intermediate transfer stiffener is taken as 0.7 times the length of the stiffener. So here, which of the following buckling check is applied to stiffener? So we have answer D, V minus Vc upon gamma mu less than or equal to FQD. The maximum spacing of vertical stiffener. So we have this as 1.5 D. Then minimum spacing of vertical stiffener. So we have D by 3. That is answer is A. Then horizontal stiffeners at 0.2D from compression flange and at neutral axis are designed so that Mi is not less than. So we have this as 4C TW cube and D2 TW cube. So that is D answer we have. The least permissible clear dimension of the web of thickness T in the panel of a plate girder, and that we have restricted to 180 T. A second horizontal stiffener is always placed at neutral axis of the plate girder if thickness of the web is less than. So we have seen these criteria. So we have both A and B. Bearing stiffener are provided. First at support, second the mid-span, third the point of application of concentrated load. So we have first at support because we have reaction, and third where we have concentrated load. So we have answer is C. So likewise, we have 50 questions over there. So one we have repeated. So around I can say that is 49 questions. One we have repeated because we have committed one mistake, and therefore total we can say 48 questions we have over here for beams and plate girders. So this is about your beams and plate girders. Thank you.